So my name's Polly Ford and I'm a subspecialist in reproductive medicine and surgery. I think male fertility is really important because it's been the forgotten side of fertility. We focused on female fertility and relied only upon IVF with ICSI for men. But actually, male factor contributes to 50% of couples coming through either wanting to assess their fertility and finding problems, or those undergoing treatment for their fertility. So this is something that we need to talk about more and we need to focus on more as well. So over the last 45 years, we've had a 50% drop in sperm counts in men. There's multiple factors for this, but it is modern day living. We've got environmental factors, we've got smoking, we've got stress, we've got obesity, and simple things that people aren't even thinking of. They're sat at home with their laptop on their lap, with tight clothing, things that really could change whether or not their sperm count is slowly dropping or staying within the normal range. So as part of our drives at Complete Fertility to improve male fertility awareness, we actually have two different packages. We've got what we'd call the basic semen analysis, where someone can come in, have their sperm test, and then have an initial consultation to discuss those results. Or for those wanting a bit more of an understanding of their hormones and why their sperm count might be as it is, we have the premium package, which is what I'd recommend to most men because information is key. I think there's definitely an aspect of men not prioritising their fertility. They're waiting till they're older, they're waiting till the point that they want to conceive, rather than considering whether they could preemptively investigate their fertility and look at sperm freezing or look at optimization, because those lifestyle factor changes can make the difference between whether or not they can conceive naturally with their partner in the future, or the number of embryos they get in the future if they have to go through fertility treatment, such as those without a female partner. We've seen that in research as well as in social media, there's been an increased focus on male fertility, especially within the last few months. And in March this year, there was a really interesting paper that came out from the Netherlands showing that not only is sperm count important for fertility, but sperm count reduction actually is a sign of increased mortality. So if you've got a sperm count that is high, the average age of death was 80.3, but actually if your sperm count was between 0 and 5 million per mil, life expectancy was age 77. This is something that we weren't even thinking about before, and really should prompt people to look at not just their fertility, but their overall health. So when a man has a semen analysis, we end up with quite a long list of information, including the volume, the pH, the viscosity, but the main things that they need to remember are three. One, the concentration of the sperm, and this is the number of sperm per mil of ejaculate. This will give us an idea of whether or not they're within the normal range or whether it is low. From that, we take a total count with the volume of ejaculate, but that's less important than necessarily the concentration. We look at the sperm and we see how motile it is. Is it moving around in circles, or is it moving in a forward direction, which will increase the chance of fertilization of an egg? And the third thing we look at is the sperm morphology, or the number of normal-looking sperm. In fact, we only expect there to be 4% to be within the normal range, so it's not a high bar, but a lot of men find their morphology is the thing that's reduced. And this looks at the head, neck and tail of the sperm and can give us an idea of your chance of fertilization, or whether natural conception is maybe a bit less likely if they've got really reduced morphology. But that's something we can change. It's really easy to book a semen analysis. We can be contacted by telephone, email, or send a query online to us, and then we'll get back to you with a date and time for your semen analysis and your follow-up. When a man has a sperm test, we aim to email out their result within a few days, taking up to 7 days. But if they've got an appointment booked to discuss that semen analysis, we'll usually wait to discuss it at the appointment rather than send them the report initially, and then they'll get a copy of their report and their consultation letter all in one. If a sperm test comes back with variations outside of normal range, there's lots of different things we can do. We can look at lifestyle changes, including looking at supplements, smoking cessation. We can look at medical therapies, and also the innovative technologies of assisted reproduction, surgical sperm retrievals. So there's lots that we can discuss with men about how we can improve their numbers. Even if a man has a result that shows that he's got a really low sperm count, there's so much we can do for him. We can improve that with medications. We can look at IVF with ICSI, where we only need the same number of sperm for the number of eggs we collect. So even those that have down to less than 100 sperm in their ejaculate may be able to go forward for treatment straight away without delay. But it's about knowing what those numbers are, because without that information, you don't know what your timelines are, and you don't know whether or not we can improve things. So if you want to get your fertility check, go on our website, book a sperm appointment. If all you want is that sperm analysis, you can have just that. But what I'd recommend is you have a chat with one of us that can explain what this means. Look at the results. How can we improve it? What individualized care would be useful for you so that you can understand your health, because we really need to understand our bodies well. So it's simple. Plan ahead, be prepared, and know your stats.